Hello, my name is Taisha, and I typically do update videos on Fridays, which I will continue to do. But periodically, I have like a topic that kind of stays stuck in my head, and I was thinking that, hey, maybe I'll try making videos about it and see if there's anyone else that resonates with it. So I wanted to start off by saying that for me, the biggest impact that Zepbound has had is the elimination of food noise, overeating, this constant where from the moment I woke up until I went to sleep, I was thinking about food, which started, I would say I had these habits even as a child, but for the longest time, I stayed small. So no one ever really paid much attention to that, and neither did I, because somehow I was obviously, my metabolism was higher, I was more active and things like that. So there was this counterbalance for years until, there wasn't. And through the 13 years of ups and downs and gaining weight and losing weight and doing restrictive things like, and if you're someone who's doing this or you've done this, this is in no way to shade you. I'm telling you my experiences. I've tried, HCG, getting those injections and eating this ridiculously low amount of, calories daily. And of course, after that, I would gain all the weight that I lost back and then some. The ones where you have meals prepared, Optavia or something like that, which was another super low calorie. Like everything was about these extremely low calorie diets. And as someone who struggles with, a binge eating disorder and things like that, that was the worst thing. Those were the worst types of ways that I could have been trying to lose weight. And then this mindset of every time there was a goal, right? So let's say I'm getting ready to go on a cruise in a few months. This unhealthy relationship with food and being so restrictive, and there were periods of time where I worked out consistently, but it was never because this is a healthy thing. It was how much, what do I need to do to lose this weight as fast as possible? And it was always as fast as possible. So I would lose it and I would gain back and I would gain back more. And this was a cycle that repeated itself over and over again. And, there were times where you couldn't tell me. I don't know if I was just in denial or, I had to have been in denial, because I would be like, oh, well, I ate salads and, oh, I didn't eat that much. Or, I'd go a few days where I'm eating these low calories. And then of course, it just wasn't sustainable. And I'm saying this because I noticed that for me, it was a trend. I wasn't tracking every single thing I ate. And I know if you've seen my stuff on Instagram, it's probably just like, you eat the same stuff all the time. Okay, but when I was eating terribly, I was eating the same things all the time. I could go to Chick-fil-A and get, two 4-count strips, 2 large fries, a large sweet tea, and that would be one meal. Just to kind of give you some context, right? I would get sometimes the chicken strip salad, and I would get an extra order of chicken strips to go along with it. So yeah, I ate a salad, but do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not just about the salad. What are you putting? Like, what kind of dressing? I was a ranch queen. And then that avocado ranch, I loved that stuff, back then. And so, yeah, I ate a salad. But there was so much other stuff on the salad where it wasn't really about the nutritional benefits. And when I was logging food, I wasn't being honest with myself. And I wasn't logging every single thing. So if I had a meal, take a pretty picture for Instagram or whatever, and then I wasn't taking pictures of the seconds and the thirds and sometimes fourths that I went back for. You know what I mean? And sometimes we just have to be honest with ourselves. If you are legitimately in a caloric deficit and not like 500 calories a day, guys, that's just not healthy. It's just not, If you see the DEXA scan video I posted, I can't can't remember the exact numbers, and I probably should have looked it up before doing this, but I don't plan on doing like a bunch of editing to this video. So let's say it was 1363. I'm not supposed to go below that. Like if I was in a coma, that is what my body would burn. So if I was doing a 500 calorie diet or even 1,000, that's not enough. It's not enough. And I know that it's hard for people to grasp that because we, or at least I, went from one extreme to the next. And it's like, just be consistent. Just be consistent. We're going to have weeks where we gain. We're going to have weeks where we lose. We're going to have weeks where we stay the same. That it fluctuates by the day. If you wake up in the morning and weigh yourself, by the time you go to bed at night, it's going to go up because you're taking in more. So this obsession with the number on the scale derailed me so many times. And I feel like if you're watching this still, it may be something that you struggle with and you just have to let that go. If you know you're doing all the right things, let your body take the time to do what it needs to do. If you're on this medication and you're seeing all these stories where people are losing just these extreme amounts, oh, I lost 10 pounds in a week. First of all, you don't know what their starting weight was. You don't know what their diet was like. I kid you not. There were a couple of days that I tracked in January and I got over 6,000 calories in just a day. And there were many days like that, which is why I gained so much weight so quickly. So when I went from that to starting this medication and not really having the desire to eat, but knowing, okay, I need to eat, of course it's going to be a lot in the beginning because I was consuming so much on a regular basis. And on top of that, I wasn't active. So now when you throw in this medication, which helps with, and I know people think it's a buzzword now, but food noise is just, it's perfect. It's perfect. I never knew that was the term for it. But when I heard it, I knew it. I've been struggling with this for years. I have not had it since starting the medication. So I consider myself fortunate in that. And I know there are people that still struggle with it. And I hope that you can get to a dose or a place where where food is not just the constant thing on your mind. Because I know how hard it is. I get it. And that is how the medication has been effective for me. But I'm not just taking a shot every week and that's it. And I know there are people out there who are like, oh, well, you're exercising and you change your diet. And yeah, of course you're going to lose weight. Yeah, we know that. We know that a lot of it is calories in, calories out. Now, I'm not here to debate with anybody and I'm not going to argue in the comments about it. We know that you have to be in a caloric deficit to lose weight. We get it. That's the hard part though. That was the hard part. And I feel like telling someone with some sort of food addiction, just eat less is, to me, and I know that to me, it's like telling an alcoholic, well, just drink less. Except they can't. It's kind of all or nothing with an alcoholic, right? Well, we can't all or nothing food. We can't just not eat food. So, anyway, I don't want to go off on a tangent in that way. What I'm saying is we have to be real with ourselves. The reason I take pictures of everything, and they're not pretty meals, I'm not a chef or anything like that. It's accountability, not just for other people to see, but for myself. So if I have some time where I'm like, and I'm sure it'll come, right? I'm not magically cured. You know what I mean? It's managed. I don't constantly think about food, but I can eat and I could eat more. But I know if I do that based off of watching everyone else's stuff, I'm going to be super uncomfortable and it's not worth it to me. I rarely eat processed stuff. I had tortilla chips a few times over the weekend and I'm glad that that's the only bag I had. So if that tells you anything, I could find myself eating those and not be hungry. It's salty, it's crunchy. I substituted those instead of chickpeas, which really what I should have done is just gone and got some more chickpeas, but I do have them now. But what I'm saying is We have trigger foods. You know, I'm sure I felt like all foods back in the day were trigger foods, but we have trigger foods. Don't eat them. This whole stuff that we lie to ourselves, like, well, I'm just gonna have a little bit, or I'm just gonna have, yeah, I'm just gonna have a little bit. And that turns into a little bit more, a little bit more. Okay, well, after this, then I'm not gonna do it again. At least that's how it was for me. I can't speak for you guys. This was a constant struggle. And my family watched me go through this over and over and over again. I would ask them to hold me accountable, and then I'd end up sneaking food because I'm home during the day. So when the kids were at school, when they did go to school, I'm eating like there's no tomorrow during the day, right? They would come home. I would eat dinner before my husband got home so I could eat again with him. And then I could not wait for him to go to sleep so I could eat again. So I'm telling you that I understand. Now, if that's not your struggle, then this is not relatable. And, I don't know what to tell you. But I know that I wasn't counting all the snacks that I had. I wasn't necessarily counting if I went back for seconds. I wasn't taking into account all the sugary drinks I was drinking, all the sweet tea, all the coffees, the lattes, the frappuccinos, all these things. Every time I had energy drinks, they weren't necessarily the 0-calorie ones. Do you know what I'm saying? Like all of that. One of them, I think, was like 300 calories. I wasn't paying attention to that. You know what I mean? I would make jokes like, well, I'm getting my B vitamins. But we have to be real with ourselves. And if you do really feel like I'm eating this way and I'm working out and I'm not noticing any kind of change, then I challenge you, take pictures of, you don't have to post them. Take pictures of every single thing that you put in your mouth, including the drinks that you drink. I drink a crap ton of water. Lately, I've been incorporating, some pressed ginger with orange juice, because I have a juicer and I like that kind of stuff. But moderation, that wasn't something that I struggled with, so I feel comfortable doing that. But best believe I'm getting 5 to 6 of my 32-ounce canteens of water daily. I'm not saying you have to drink that much. I'm saying I know that I drink a lot of water, and it's very rare that I have anything outside of that. But if you're someone who drinks anything that's not water, take a picture of it. And you would be surprised at how those calories can creep up on you. And I'm not trying to sound preachy or anything. I am not the type of person who is motivated by that. And I don't want to be that kind of person. I just want to share my experience with you. And if you're someone who struggles with it, you're not alone. But it's up to us, especially if you're on this med. There comes a point where it's up to us to decide, am I going to continue to do this, or am I going to make these changes? And if you do feel like you've made changes and the scale is not moving, your clothes size, like whatever it is that you feel like is not going the way that you want it to go, maybe it's time to take it a little further. I don't do good with food logs, or I do good. I don't do well with food logs. So I don't want to take the time to write everything down. So I take a picture. I already weigh everything out. So I've already put them in Lose It at one point. So I know what I'm getting on a regular basis. And I know that I'm getting between 16 and 1800 calories a day. I don't work out to try to counterbalance that. So I'm not like working out like, oh, I've got to burn this amount of calories. I don't count that. It does it automatically in the watch, but I'm just working out because it feels good. I want to be stronger. I want to be more toned. There is a vanity part of it. I would be lying if I told you I don't care what I look like, because I do, but I don't care about what I look like because I'm worried about what other people think. I feel like something's on my lip. Do you know what I mean? I don't care about how other people view me or my body. I want to feel comfortable in the clothes that I put on. I want to be able to put on pants that are the proper size and not have my, just feeling restricted or anything. I'm not verbalizing that well, but my point is the things that I'm doing for me. And whatever you're doing, it should be for you, not for what you think other people are expecting of you. And be honest with yourself. Be fully honest with yourself. If you're not honest with anyone else, be honest with yourself. Have you really been eating whatever amount of calories you're supposed to eat, to be in a deficit? Not starvation, a deficit. Are you working out? Are you moving your body? Do you know what I mean? Like, are you really doing these things and not having any results? Because if not, maybe it's time to talk to a dietitian to make sure that you're getting what you're supposed to get, what your nutritional requirements are. You know what I mean? Like, take pictures of everything. Try that for the month of July. Again, you don't have to post it. You don't have to share it with anybody, but you'll be able to look back. Okay. Oh, wow. Well, I wasn't counting that. Oh man. Yeah, I did. I didn't count those cookies. Oh, I didn't count that sugary drink or whatever it is, candy. Everyone has their thing and that's okay. But what's important is being honest with yourself and being self-aware, knowing if this thing is a trigger or if these environments are triggers. If they're avoidable, stay out of them. If you have a food that's like your kryptonite, stay away from it. Is it more important than getting into this state of we're supposed to be making lifestyle changes, not changes just to get to a certain weight or I'm going to do this until. It shouldn't be, we should no longer be at, I'm going to just do this until. We should be at, this is my new life. This is what life looks like for me now. I'm not going to be a slave to my past behaviors because they didn't serve me well. That small time of gratification is going to lead me feeling that moment of gratification is going to make me feel guilty in the future. And you could be, you could follow people and you could be in this mindset, well, I have one life and I'm going to be happy but you're not happy. You're not happy. So then it's not worth it. Do you know what I mean? That's it. You can see why I edit videos and stuff because I don't want to be super long-winded, but I just want you guys to understand that the medication, it only goes so far. It only goes so far. It is what we do. Every time we put something in our mouths, we make that choice. If your food noise comes back, if you're one of those people where your food noise comes back on day 5 or day 6, then you need to prepare. You need to maybe make your meals ahead of time and know that, okay, this is mental. This is more mental than anything else. I'm going to have my shot in 2 or 3 days. I can do this. Do you know what I'm saying? We have to put forth the effort. And I know it probably sounds like, okay, yeah, it's easy for you to say because you haven't had the food noise. Okay, but I know what my life was like before that. And if I got to that point where I felt like, okay, I didn't have control, I would talk to my doctor about it and either go up in dose or figure something else out. But one thing I know that I don't eat are the things that used to trigger me. And that was the main reason for cutting out highly processed foods, minus those tortilla chips I had over the weekend. But it reminded me, okay, this is why I don't eat like this anymore. Because I could see how if I had that stuff regularly, how things could get out of control. So I hope that my point was received and it's coming from the best place. I understand, but there comes a time where we have to make these changes and we have to stick with them and stop with this mentality of, I'm just doing this until. This should be a lifestyle change. All right. And if you're somebody who struggles with this, comment below. I'd be interested in knowing because I don't feel like I'm alone with it. I'm alone in this house with it because there's not really anyone else that struggles with that. But I just, you're not alone. And this wasn't meant to make you feel bad, but we've got to look within. So I don't think I'll be making any other videos until my update on Friday. And just know my update videos will still stay in the same format, you know. But yeah, have a great day. Happy Monday. It's the 1st of July. Set some new goals and you've got this. And lastly, take pictures of everything. Try it. Just try it and see. And then sometimes by taking a picture, you'll think, do I really want this? So hopefully this helps. And yeah, have a great day. Bye.